little man Johnny, unfortunately, he got sick on Palm Sunday. So his father didn't take him to the church. Well, when his father returned, his father, holding the palm and kind of entering into the house. And the little man Johnny, he saw that his father is holding the palm. Well, Father, why are you holding the palm? Well, you see, Jesus came into the town, and all the people are holding the palms and welcome him. Johnny, his face, looked really sad. Oh gosh, I'm really, really sad. Why did Jesus show up on the one Sunday I couldn't go to church? Well, now our Lenten season is almost coming to the end. How was our Lenten season? If we count day by day, stay 3 more days in order to accomplish 40 days of Lent. And then we will be entering into the Triduum, the season of Triduum. The question I would like to ask is, who do you think I am? Matthew chapter 16, from verse 13 to 17. Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do the people say I am?" And then the disciples replied, "Some says you are the prophets. Some says you are Elijah. Some say you are the John of the Baptist." Well, then Jesus continued, "Well, how about you? Who do you say I am?" And then right away, Peter, like in the class, raising his hand, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." In today, Palm Sunday's liturgy, there are 2 parts that we celebrated. The first part is Jesus from Bethany entering into Jerusalem. And here, the same question I would like to ask, who do those people think Jesus is? Well, they took off their clothes and they thrown their clothes on the road, and also they cut the branches of the trees, palms, and everything, prepare the way of Jesus, thinking that Jesus is the King of the Jews. They were thinking that Jesus is going to get the Jerusalem from the Roman. That was what they were expecting. That was what they were believing. Therefore, they were so happy to welcome Jesus. And then the second part of the liturgy for the Palm Sunday, we read the Passion of our Lord, suffered, died on the cross. Well, how about us? Who are we going to say Jesus is? Jesus already mentioned to his disciples, "I'm going to suffer, I'm going to get arrested, and I'm going to get crucified." And then Peter kind of, grabbing Jesus' hand, and then taking him behind the scene, and then rebuking Jesus. "No, don't tell them. You are crushing the hope of the people. You are crushing the feeling of the people. They really, look forward of the success of your mission." And what did Jesus reply? Get behind me, Satan. Today, when Jesus entered into the Jerusalem, he rode the colt, he rode the donkey. Why did he choose to ride the donkey? Well, if we look at in the Old Testament, we will probably see two different things. Whenever the king, go out for war, he is going to ride the horse. But after getting the victory and coming back from the war, and then the Prince of Solomon, he chose to ride the donkey. What does it mean? Well, now, the days are going to be in peace. However, riding the horse or riding the donkey, both of these represent the kingship of Jesus. Jesus, he was riding the donkey and kind of telling the people the day of the peace is coming. Well, however, it didn't meet the expectation of the people. How about us? Who do we think God is? Is God going to fulfill our own desires? Is God supposed to give us the house, the richness, the properties, and the glory, and the status, the work, and so on and so on? Who do we think God is? Is God what we think, or is God what he is? God is who he is. And today's invitation is, well, Jesus clearly known what he is going to face. He started, his mission with the baptism. He was baptized at the Jordan, and right after he was baptized, he entered into desert, and he prepared for the wars. And then the second Sunday of Lent, we heard the reading about the transfiguration. Jesus transfigured on the mount. Well, Peter even mentioned, this is a good place for us to stay. Yeah, let's stay here. But Jesus, no, we have to go to Jerusalem. And I have to go there, and I have to die over there. And then he kind of continued his mission. And the third Sunday of Lent, we heard about the Samaritan woman at the well. Well, these peoples are really thirsting for the living water. We are also thirsting for the living water. Jesus, mentioned to her, if you know that who I am, you will be asking for the living water. I can give you the living water. And the fourth Sunday of Lent, Jesus healed the blind man. Jesus gave the sight who was born blind. These blind men represent us. We also, really crave in order to see the light. And then last Sunday, the fifth Sunday of Lent, we heard about Jesus raised Lazarus up from his death. If we bind all these together, Jesus has been telling us he is the King of the universe. He is the order of life. Now he's going to enter into the Jerusalem. He's going to suffer and get crucified. And on the third day, he is going to get resurrected. And by doing so, he is winning the life which is eternal for us. Therefore, now we are entering into the Holy Week, and I would like to invite all of you to try our best to pursue for the holiness and to participate in our Lord's Passion, and we are supposed to celebrate the Happy Easter as well.